Hola a todos y todos in Zoom and here. We're going to do this in English because our distinguished visitor speaks English, right? So here's the program. We're going to talk about the LatinX Tech Nvidia Supercomputing Initiative. The way this will work is our Dean of Engineering and Science, Ricardo, is going to give some opening remarks. Then I'm going to talk about the AI Hub just a little bit. Then we have representatives from Nvidia in the call, so they will speak briefly. And then Laura is going to explain LatinX and what is her mission. Finally, Beto is going to explain this initiative, the Supercomputing Initiative. So, Ricardo, do you want to open the proceedings, please?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for being here. Es un gran placer tener a tantos amigos aquí con nosotros. Hay varios que tienen que argumentar y pagar algunos vuelos para venir por una torta ahogada. I not translate this in English because it's a local joke for all those Chilangos guys. And well, but it's a pleasure to have you here. And it's a pleasure to have all of you here. And we are very excited because, well, today is the formalization of the donation of a great supercomputer that will work for the benefit of every one of us. So I don't want to spend a lot of time. Only want to say thank you to Nvidia. Thank you to LatinX. Thank you for Beto, or Gilberto, as we also know it here. Thank you very much for all the effort. Thank you, Enrique, for this. And I think that this will be very, very great for the campus Guadalajara, the state of Jalisco, and also for Mexico and the AI community. So thank you very much, and this is your help. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll speak very briefly about the AI Hub, which is the umbrella initiative of Tec de Monterrey that talks about AI. So the AI Hub, you can see as an AI ecosystem. I just happen to be the coordinator and mouthpiece, that's it. The idea is Tec de Monterrey has a long history of AI, and what we're trying to do is to coordinate efforts. So far, we have involved 17 research professors. What is interesting is these professors don't come necessarily from engineering. They come from medical school, business school, humanities, etc. So it's a true multidisciplinary system. 97 students have been engaged in the initiatives of the Hub, and we announced this in November 2019, and Ricardo was there. The first ecosystem of its type in Latin America. It has some different things that I will explain to you. The goal is to build capabilities, technology, and talent to create systems, and we make an emphasis on the ethical use of AI. This has attracted grants and gifts for more than $2 million in the life of the Hub. And something important is this Hub is not an aggregator of other efforts. This Hub builds its own initiatives. There are 4 dimensions of the work of the Hub: research, education. The way tech is different is we care a lot about entrepreneurs and startups. And then we have projects, training, etc., etc. So what I want to tell you a little bit briefly is the results of this Hub last year. We just closed the year, and the results are for 21 to 22. We measured from June to July. Okay, so we have involvement from 17 researchers, 97 students. We have a big project with the Latin American Development Bank. This year, we got more than 16 million pesos of grants and donations, including the generous donation from Nvidia. And as I told you, this is a multidisciplinary effort. The Applied Artificial Intelligence Master's degree, I don't know if Falcon is here, but thank you, Falcon, great effort. And as far as research, I think the results are outstanding. 24 papers were submitted, 6 papers were published in scientific journals, and 3 book chapters, which is very good productivity for the people associated from the Hub. So thank you all. And then Perla Jalisco is the initiative with Inter-American Development Bank. From there, we got 3 articles submitted that were of technical nature. So good research results of the hub. And projects and training, this is interesting, I think. Train government officials through the program of Inter-American Development Bank, 200 of them. Some mission that we have is to try to bring ONGs to the world of AI. That's difficult because many of them are not digital, really. So we need to bring them slowly, build data, etc., etc. But it's an effort that we're trying to make. Something interesting is we put videos on YouTube and we had more than 100,000 visits. One more thing I want to highlight is we have a program with MIT and AstraZeneca to teach machine learning principles and ethical AI to kids that are in 7th to 9th grade. We already offer this in a school here in Jalisco, in Escuela La Barranca, from the Lorena Ochoa Foundation. And now we're in talks with the government of Jalisco to basically scale up the effort. Finally, we have a board, which is a very interesting board, high-powered. We have the heads of very important corporations, SAP, TCS, IBM, Bain & Company, C3AI, and they guide our efforts throughout the year. A person called Lorenzo Valle, which is now in HPI in Hasso-Plattner, helps me run the board. Finally, what are we doing this year? These are the strategic initiatives for the year that is starting now. This is a key initiative for us, the LXAI Nvidia Supercomputing Initiative. This is the start of something great. I have been talking to Laura, which will speak in a second, about a long-term relationship. We are very happy that you are here and the help we get from you. So thank you very much and your organization. We have other initiatives. We have an initiative with Hasso-Plattner Institute in Germany that is related to research and also entrepreneurs. We will continue working with BID. The bank is now very interested in AI and gender, okay? And also very interested in AI going to what they call the South, which in Mexico means Oaxaca, Chiapas. So we're going to Chiapas in September to see what we can do there. It's a strange initiative, but I think very powerful. We're working with IDRC, which is a Canadian corporation, to do the acceleration of the startups here. And finally, we're working with the Institute for the Future of Education at Tec de Monterrey Institute on how you use AI in education with a very futuristic view of 2030. So what does this mean in the metaverse, how agents work there, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what we do. And this is the umbrella initiative in which the LXI Nvidia effort belongs. And that's all I want to say.
Thank you.
So, well, thank you all. Now, there's a slot for our friends from Nvidia.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for inviting NVIDIA to the celebration today. As many of you know, NVIDIA aims to offer all people the opportunity to develop state-of-the-art innovations that advance both the well-being of our society and our planet. So we are thrilled to be collaborating with LatinX in AI and Tec de Monterrey on this supercomputing initiative. And we expect that it will help accelerate the democratization of AI and data science in South and Central America. We look forward to participating on the technical committees and can't wait to see all the exciting work that the students, researchers, and startups undertake. So thank you again for having us today and inviting NVIDIA to participate in this first of its kind collaboration. There's exciting things ahead. I'll pass it off to some of my colleagues who are in the LATAM region here with us as well, if they'd like to add anything. Jomar?
Yeah, thank you. So it's a great pleasure to be here. I'd like to introduce myself. I will be probably your first contact here in the region. I'm Jomar Silva, Developer Relation Manager for NVIDIA in Latin America. And it will be a huge pleasure to work with you. I visited Tec de Monterrey 5 years ago or so. I did some workshops and events there. So I really know what the university is capable of. I know a lot of professors there. And it will be a pleasure to share our knowledge and organize workshops, hands-on training and other activities with you. And this possibility of having access to this kind of technology and clustering is really important. Also, we have the startup program here. We have almost 390 startups in our ecosystem, and we have more than 50 in Mexico in different areas, and some of those startups are in Jalisco. So it will really be a pleasure to be able to engage with the university, with the startups and the local ecosystem, helping you guys to innovate using our GPU technologies and accelerations. Please count on me. Yo hablo español también muy mal, es en portuñol, porque en Brasil todos hablamos esta miseria llamada portuñol. Entonces, muy más simple empezamos a hablar. Esto a la disposición. Gracias.
Hi, everyone. I am Fabio Alves. I am the account manager for the higher education research vertical here in Nvidia. It's a pleasure to be here again. I think it's with this technology you have now, it will help expedite research and the development in the region. It's a pleasure to work with you. And I would like to let the guys, the people that will use the system, know that you can access tools like the developer program at Nvidia to get access to the full stack of software tools to expedite research and can use the system better while we have it there. So thank you again for the opportunity. I would like to invite you all to the GTC, which is our event that will happen in September. So it's free of charge for participating on it. So there you can get more information from what you can get from the system. So thank you again for the opportunity. Eu hablo pouquinho de portunhol também, como mencionou Diomar, intentamos hablar aí sua língua. Graças pela oportunidade.
Thank you a lot for the talk. So we'll continue with Laura.
Thank you, everyone, for having me here today. I really appreciate it. My name is Laura Montoya. For those who do not know me, I'm one of the founders for the LatinX AI organization and programs. This organization was founded about 4 or 5 years ago, eventually to help support the Latinx community doing work in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Part of our initiative and our mission is to create opportunities for Latinx identified people working in AI. And that's all areas of artificial intelligence, including research, including engineering, business, entrepreneurship, and especially for applications of social impact. You can see some of our mission initiatives here, essentially what our goals are as an organization. That includes that we are essentially volunteer-led. So we do collaborate with many other organizations also doing work in this space. We, of course, as I mentioned, support engineering and research initiatives worldwide. We have our own mentoring platform, which I will speak to you a little bit about later on in this presentation. And of course, we try to nurture a continuing relationship between academia, industry, and government. And even we had a wonderful opportunity for doing that a little bit here during my visit. So I'm very grateful all of the hospitality that your organization and local community has shared with me here today and during this week. Part of the work that we do is also to increase representation at global conferences, especially those that are very prestigious in nature, academic, and that have a lot of cross collaboration with industry. I'll go a little bit more into that in a moment. We also have a job openings network, which I know is ideal for universities like yourselves that have incoming students that you would like to see go on to achieve a lot of great work in the future. And we, of course, do things like help with bias awareness, spreading information, education on issues around bias, which, of course, is a tough topic that we have to deal with in the places like the United States, but then also in other areas around the world. As I mentioned, our organization started about 4 or 5 years ago now. We launched initially in the San Francisco Bay Area, so with a very small community. We essentially launched with a town hall session. And what they really wanted and needed for growth within AI and machine learning. From there, yes, thank you very much. From there, we decided to grow our organization, have a workshop focus So that's where we started collaborating with conferences, with corporations, and with research institutions through these research workshops. We then developed our leadership and mentorship program in 2020, which really allowed us to better support younger generations that were doing this work and wanting those new opportunities within the field. And then, of course, we expanded our organization. We now have members throughout the world, over 6,000, of course, many within Latin America, but about 40% of our membership base is actually in the US, in North America. And then also we have members that come to us that are doing PhD programs or doing research that identifies Latinx from countries in Asia, from countries in Europe, the UK, and so on. So we really identify that the Latinx population is a multicultural organization and community, which is very wonderful and very supportive for us. We do have this LXAI member profiles and forums. So if you have not yet connected on our website, you can access this either directly at latinxnai.org or through our app at lxai.app. Essentially, you can join for free. And again, this is just a forum. It's really meant to connect our community, to provide and share resources, especially for things like grants for new job opportunities, for research collaboration between individuals and institutions. So we do advise that you do support and join this particular forum to join our network. And for our big corporate partners, of course, this is a great way to connect with Latinx professionals in AI, ML, computer vision, NLP, and so on. And it's a resource for them to find speakers, to find new recruits, and so on. Additionally to this, we have started our Journal of Latinx and AI Research. So we found that, especially for those that are presenting at our conferences, it's a very nice experience to also have their work published and indexed as researchers within a journal that is developed by our organization. So we now have all of the work that is being presented at our conferences for those that are not already copyrighted to be indexed officially with our organization. And that way they, of course, can be assigned an official DOI and be able to be tracked through that researcher's history going forward in the future and properly cited as well. And this is a nice resource because it's searchable by topic. So if you're interested in the work that is being presented and produced throughout our organization and our community, this is another great resource for you as well to see opportunities for collaboration. Our mentorship program essentially, again, is meant to support researchers within our network and our community. This is meant for career and research mentorship, where individuals will be matched essentially with a professional in the industry who is currently doing work in their same area of expertise and specialization. And so they meet for 3 months at a time, essentially for this virtual session of mentorship. So again, this is a unique opportunity for students, especially to connect with people that have been working in industry going forward into the future. And the point of this mentorship program is, of course, to improve outcomes for those individuals so that they can better incorporate that guidance into their research and into their applications for graduate school, for new opportunities within industry, and so on. We also have this conference grant fund. This is part of the way we support our community. So essentially, to date, we have awarded over 950 conference and registration grants to members of our community, again, that are located around the world to come and attend these sessions that are the most prestigious conferences. So glad to see some of you as well in the audience that have joined us at different conferences, and we have been able to collaborate with you. And we appreciate that you have shared your research with us through these sessions as well. Some of these conferences, of course, include the Neural Information Processing Systems Conference, which is actually coming up in the beginning of December, the International Conference of Machine Learning that just passed, the International Conference of Learning Representations, the Computer Vision and Pattern Recognition Conference, which Beto and some of the team here has been very highly involved with organizing as well. And of course, our wonderful partners at Nvidia, we're glad to offer special scholarships to attend their Deep Learning Institute at their conferences. So thank you to them for their wonderful partnership with our organization and with our community. We also host a lot of socials at different conferences, another great way to connect, bring people together and offer this type of collaboration at such conferences such as LXAI, and then several of the NLP conferences as well, NACL, EACL, ACL, and so on. So our membership in our community is really spread across all areas of specialization in AI and machine learning. This is just a short testimonial from one of our presenters, and of course you can read here. She said the whole program was amazing for her, that we created a unique atmosphere for people to meet, to help each other, from students to the most renowned scientists. So these are the type of feedback we really love to hear. We know then that we are making an impact, we are making a difference in our community and for the lives of younger generations. Some initiatives that are coming soon, we have a lot of collaborations with universities as well in the US. I think that one of the representatives I saw is on the call today. Pablo Rivas from Baylor University is one of our main connections there, and they are located in Texas. We actually have a new program that'll be launching along with this open source MOOC, which is a massively open online courseware. You guys might be familiar with sites such as edX and so on that provide open learning essentially to everyone around the world that wants to learn. One of our goals here is to offer this type of education in many different languages, especially for those that will help people within our community. But also at Baylor, in collaboration with Rutgers University, as well as the University of Miami, we will also be launching the Center for Standards and Ethics in Artificial Intelligence. So this is a really great initiative that's going to be coming soon and aligns very well with our morals, with our organization and our values and our mission. So we're really glad to have that. And if you are interested as well in collaborating in that particular program, please let us know and we would be happy to connect you there. Of course, we could not do this work without our corporate partners. They are one of the reasons why we do this as well, to ensure that they have a connection to the community. They do value, of course, the work that you are doing. We want to let you know that as well on their behalf. So some of our partners include, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, of course, is a great partner for ours, Apple, Capital One, Intel, and so on. And so because we've been able to develop these relationships with industry, we found we have been put in a very unique position to support people within academia, within individual research institutions, within the corporations, and within government. So this has been a very wonderful opportunity for us. So we do ask that, you join us however you feel most comfortable, whether that's through our app, whether that's through, social media platforms, whether that's just being involved here at Tec de Monterrey with this new program, which Beto will explain to you all about. We just want to see more people within our community being supportive of each other, essentially, and finding this initiative growing more over time. So thank you very much again for having me, and the hospitality here has been amazing. I really appreciate the opportunity. It's been wonderful. So that's all I have to say for today, and I would love to get to know you more one-on-one. So thank you very much.
Researchers and grad students. So now we know where to go. Right here. Thank you. Okay, and thank you, Laura. Now, Beto is going to explain the Supercomputing Initiative.
Okay, so thank you, Laura, and thank you, Enrique, and Ricardo, for the nice presentations. Basically, I just want, since Laura has already presented what the LXAI, community is, I will concentrate a little bit more about this program. So basically, the idea of this LXAI Supercomputing program started actually last year. We organized the workshop in the International Conference on Computer Vision. It was a virtual one, so basically we have a good time in this platform called GetTown, yeah. And actually, we have some colleagues, like for example, Nils Murrugarra from Peru, because as you already saw, like we give a lot of registration grants, travel grants. For example, these are for the CPR 2021, who was also virtual, but then we have CPR 2022. So we were able to have around 33 persons to attend from all these countries: Peru, Mexico, Spain, Colombia. And but actually, we were always wondering, actually, yeah, I also want to talk about this. We were very, very lucky because CPR, which is one of the most important AI conferences in the world, they were able to give some registration grants and programs. And that together with the money that Laura raises, we're able to bring, to have almost $70,000. So we're able to bring a lot of people to the conference. So we're really, really, really happy. Actually, this is a picture. Some of the guys here, the PhD students, the master students are in this picture. So we're really lucky to bring all these guys. And despite the good results, I think we can do a lot more. Basically, sometimes we give prizes to people, but we realize that sometimes very few people can attend the conference. So this is we're already helping to bridge a gap, right? To able to some people to attend the conference. But oftentimes it's very difficult. For example, when you want to publish for the big conferences, you have to run tons of experiments. It's very expensive. It takes a lot of time. And we were thinking, okay, what we can do to improve this? And as you know, deep learning and AI is growing like crazy. Like, for example, if we see this is a report from the World Intellectual Property Organization. Basically, it's a report that was out in 2019, sorry. It says that we have almost a 200% increase in deep learning papers and patents almost 7x per year. So we see a lot of progress in AI, right? But the problem is that most of this progress is not happening in Latin America. We see like in Latin America, we produce only like 2% of the papers in conferences and about 3% of the papers in journals. So the impact of Latin America is very low, basically. So we're thinking what we can do to improve these conditions. And as you know, as you already saw, Laura has been doing a lot of very good work in these efforts. Okay, so discussing in the social hour, you already saw. You can see the video for this report. It's very nice. You can see all the efforts that LXAI does. So talking in the social hour or ICCB, discussing with different people what we can do to improve the conditions of people in Latin America. So basically, something that we realize is that it's very difficult to have access to resources. So basically, we started talking about what we can do about it. Okay, and I think that I like it. This Adam Grant basically says the most meaningful way to succeed is to help others to succeed. I think it's very important, and it's behind the LXAI efforts. And also something that is very important behind LXAI is this the lack of diversity, right, in AI. In computer, basically the lack of diversity in AI and computer science often means that critical issues that affect different communities are ignored, downplayed, or not even considered, right? So basically, we need to bring more people to this kind of thing. Okay. So basically, when we started talking about this program, we say, okay, what are we doing now? What we can do next with what we already have. So basically, we have a very strong community. The LXAI community is very vibrant. There's a lot of people that are always looking to help, right? Like even we are not getting anything very often, but we are really there for helping. We also have a very vibrant, a very nice mentoring program that runs together with the conferences. And through this program with LXAI, with Nvidia, we were able to get access to infrastructure. So how can we take LXAI community mentoring programs and infrastructure to offer something new? Basically, then we decide, okay, we have this community and we have this common infrastructure. Then we can give some technical support for people to be able to run models faster, to deploy models, to do other stuff that will be otherwise will be very difficult. We can also organize seminars and tutorials. Like, for example, we have this idea that once the machine is running here in Guadalajara, we can offer a summer school, so we can bring people from places to get some to have some experience with deep learning, for example. And of course, if the people have access to these computing resources, they can get more high impact projects, basically. That there will be otherwise very difficult to do. So basically, after discussing this, and as Laura mentioned, we have some very nice sponsors. We went to see if they will be interested in supporting us for this kind of ideas. And actually, we were happy to see that Nvidia was really interested. And I was trying to remember the kind of the events, the flow events, but it was very nice experience because they asked us, okay, we really like your idea, but we want you to present something more formal, right? Because it was just an idea. So basically, say, okay, you need to prepare something that is really strong because we need to take this to the person's higher authorities. So basically, we worked like 6 months, I think, preparing a proposal to convince Nvidia. Okay, this is the program we want to do. And once they say, okay, we believe in you, this is a good project, then the second part was to bring a partner in Latin America. So basically, say, okay, we can have Tec de Monterrey, because I was working with Enrique, and I thought that was like the perfect conditions for Guadalajara to be like to be this the epicenter of this effort. So basically, the idea was to provide access to supercomputing power to academic AI projects, to nascent startups, to NGOs that are doing AI for good, for example. And then the idea is that we will launch a program, the call for projects, in order to be able to select the best projects, and Nvidia will amplify those projects as well. So basically, initially, the proposal was me, Enrique, Laura, and Niels from, now he's at Weber State University, but back then was his Snap, a company in the US. So also something that we did is that we wanted to understand the limitations in Latin American countries, like what kind of things they are lacking, like in infrastructure, education, and so on. So we organized in the ICCB, I think it was CPR, we organized a roundtable when some of the best professors in different universities, for example, Marley is in Brazil, Maria Jose is in Chile, Laura is in Colombia, Enzo Ferrantes in Argentina, Nina is in Brazil, Cesar Beltrán is in Peru, Pablo Musso is in Uruguay, and Raúl Monroy is in Mexico. So basically, we have a very nice roundtable, and we discuss what kind of things we can do to improve the access to infra. Basically, they all say that we needed infrastructure and computing resources, basically. We also have a similar roundtable, but in the Mexican Conference on Artificial Intelligence, the national one. And there we have Eduardo Ulises Moya, Enrique was also there, Gerardo, who couldn't make it today, and Miguel Gonzalez as well. It was very enriching discussion as well. So we took all these ideas in order to improve the presentation. So basically, what we said is that we want to improve the conditions for researchers in academia, also for maybe nascent startups, that because if you are a big startup that has already a lot of money or have raised some money, then maybe something like this is not ideal. But if you're just starting, maybe a computer like this can help you to run some models to get a kind of an idea to show. So basically startups and NGOs as well, or maybe graduate students that want just to run some experiments as well. And also something that can come in the future, we need to think a little bit more. This is probably for sometimes in conferences, people organize challenges, right? Like computer vision challenges or machine learning challenges. So we also want to support that kind of thing. So after preparing this proposal for NVIDIA, finally they decided to finance this through this donation, which is an DGX A100 system. There's about 300K. Has 80 EPUs, is the equivalent to 28P100 GPUs, like a previous version. So it's actually a powerful piece of machine. In Tec de Monterrey, it will serve 44 researchers, basically the AI group, 40 master students, 40 PhD students, and of course, we'll serve the ideas to bring this to the community, right? So basically, the mission is to provide seed resources for early career professionals, and the idea is to boost early research, provide sufficient evidence for more ambitious projects. Basically, we want to foster this kind of thing, right? And those things, this is actually coming from the website, so you can visit the website. So basically, these are the main goals are the ones that I already mentioned, like build capacity, increase representation, and so on, basically sort of our main mission. And then we have this program that you can visit the website as well. The idea is that we are trying to be very competitive because it was a condition from NVIDIA. We don't want just to run anything or to give access to any project. Basically, we're running a very competitive call for proposals, something similar to Amazon Research Awards and Google Scholar. So basically, they need to prepare a very strong proposal in order to be eligible for running their. So basically, and as I mentioned, they can be researchers, they can be NGOs, they can be startups, and so on. So basically, they need to prepare this proposal. The idea of the proposal is some of the principles we want to foster or encourage is that it has to be socially beneficial. It can be something to be like a AI for good or medicine or this kind of thing. Maybe basic science as well, but we are trying to foster this kind of research. It has to be accountable to people. It's very important, especially for models, in order to understand if there are any bias there. This is kind of important. It has to be built and tested for safety, the kind of models that we're striving for that. Obviously, from the technical and scientific point of view, we're striving for scientific excellence, basically. We want good proposals. And we also want they are try to consider they are not creating on introducing any kind of unfair bias. And we also want to promote diversity of thought because there are like principles from LXAI anyway, right? So basically, you can visit the website is already available. So you can apply, and some of the website is very detailed. The selection criteria usually, if you are like social scientists, we're asking from someone like computer science background to be also in the proposal because we don't want to be like, okay, I'm a social scientist and I will be doing some AI. It's not possible, right? You need to have a copy. Or maybe you're a computer science guy and you say that you want to do some medical imaging stuff. No, you cannot do it. You need to have a doctor in the team, right? So the kind of things that we are asking is for selecting the projects is that they cover this eligibility criteria, that the team is strong, that they demonstrate that the team has some experience and that can do something with that. The context of the proposal is good enough. The proposal is relevant. The method and approach is well described. It's technically sound. That the expected results are coherent and also that is innovative and unique as a proposal. Something interesting, as I was mentioning, actually through our community, we put together several committees in order to run this program. We're going to have a research committee that will be taking care of receiving the proposals, analyzing them, serving as a chair or editor if you want, like sending the proposals to adequate persons to evaluate them, because we cannot evaluate all of them. So we're asking the community or experts in the field in order to do the call for proposal, simulation, editorial process, and so on. We're going to have a technical committee. Ulises here, and I don't remember who else, are serving as part of the technical committee in order to run the computer, to say how to run it properly, to help prepare technical materials. For example, if somebody wants to use a computer that you already have at least something, they will serve as advisory board, and they will take care of the DGX administration. And we also have teaching committee. I think you will be part of that, right? But some other people as well. The idea is that we want to create materials, we want to give seminars, we want to give tutorials, that kind of thing. So I think this will help the program to run smoothly and to actually have some impact. There's some of the committees. We have Miguel, Laura, and also some Matthias that is in the Netherlands, Pablo, who is in Baylor University, Pedro, who is in Mila, a very important AI center in Canada. We have CJ, who is moving to Microsoft, I think, no? He's from Rice, but he's moving to Microsoft. We have Carlos Hinojosa from Colombia, Jesus Garcia from UNAM, Wilder Nina from UTEC, Eduardo from Jalisco Government, and Hans Clever from Brazil. And we are, another thing that we are doing very proactively is to give kind of tutorials and workshops for people that are not familiar with this kind of proposals. So basically in our conferences and workshops, we'll be giving tutorials on how to prepare an effective proposal, actually. Okay, so that we are running, Matthias and myself, we're running the LXAI workshop in European Conference of Computer Vision, and Matthias will be preparing some tutorial, and I will help him, and so members of the community as well. So I think that's it. So this is our contacts. Thank you a lot, and I only use 15 minutes, so as I promised.
Do we have
okay.
Now what we're going to do is to have a student on Zoom, and he will describe his experience with LXAI, Nvidia, etc.
Yeah, when talking about this, actually what we're thinking about, maybe we can have someone from the group, from a group, to present how using a DGX and Nvidia computer changed the way of doing research. So are you there, Jorge?
Yes.
Okay, maybe you can share your screen.
Okay. So hello everybody, and first of all, thank you for inviting me to be here today. So I will present, my name is Jorge Spian. I did my master's in computer science at Tec de Monterrey, and today I will present a bit about my master's project, which focused on using deep learning for invisible infrared image fusion and segmentation of fire images, and with the use of the Tec de Monterrey's AI Hub Nvidia DGX station. So first, a little bit about myself. As I mentioned, I did my master's at Tecnologico de Monterrey, doing this deep learning approach for visible infrared image fusion and segmentation of wildfire images. My supervisors were Dr. Gilberto Ochoa and Dr. Lucille Rossi from the University of Corsica also. And currently, I'm a PhD student at the Hasso-Plattner Institute here in Potsdam in Germany. I am a member of the Computer Graphic System Group currently, and my research interests are in the areas of deep learning, computer vision, remote sensing, applications related to sustainability and climate change. So I first will give a brief overview of my thesis project. So the idea was to take visible fire images which contain texture and color information, and infrared images which contain thermal information, and see if we could create a fused image that could contain both thermal, textural, and ideally color information, and to see if we could take those images and use them to perform fire segmentation. So not only to tell if an image has fire or not, but to detect all the individual fire pixels in the image, which is a very important step for many wildfire detection and monitoring systems. And very fast, for the image fusion stage, we implemented these two deep learning-based state-of-the-art models for image fusion, and we evaluated them in our particular domain of fire images. And we also proposed a new fusion model, which could take a single visible image, create its own artificial infrared image, and then fuse these two to output a fused image that would also preserve the color information. We obtained very nice results, very competitive when compared to the state of the art, and our model had a very nice balance between the inclusion of thermal and visible information. And very briefly, for the segmentation part, we took 3 different deep learning architectures from the state of the art, proposed specifically for fire segmentation, and we combined them with different loss functions and with different image types, so visible, infrared, fused. And we wanted not only to find the best combination, but to evaluate which of these 3 parameters, so the architecture or the structure of the model, the loss function or the learning strategy, or the image type, had the most impact on its performance, which is a question that had not been yet answered in the state of the art. And so for this, throughout my master's thesis, we carried out about 90 experiments, which consisted mostly of training and testing deep learning models. And for this, we were fortunate to have the support of the AI Hub at Tecnologico de Monterrey, and they gave us access to their DGX-1 station, which is a system for optimizing neural network training performance. During my experiments, I used mostly between 1 or 2 Tesla P100 GPUs. And to give an idea of how much this accelerated our work, in my personal computer, on average, a model took about half a second to process a single image, while in the DGX it took about 8 milliseconds. So that's an acceleration of approximately 62.5 times. And throughout all the project, we ran about 790 hours of these experiments, which translates to approximately 78 days. And we estimated that if we had tried to do that in my personal laptop, we would have needed about 4,800 days, which translates to approximately 13 years and a half. So evidently, without the support and access to these computing resources, my master's thesis would have not been viable. But because it was, and because we have the support from the AI Hub, we managed to get some very nice scientific outputs. For instance, we managed to present posters and abstracts at different LXAI workshops at international conferences, such as the NeurIPS conference 2020, in which we presented the fusion-related part. And we also presented in LXAI workshops at CVPR 2021 and ICCV 2021, in which we presented the segmentation-related part of my thesis. Thanks to the presentation in NeurIPS, we were invited to present an extended version of our work to the Neural Computing and Applications Journal, in which it got accepted and published. We also published at the Applied Sciences Journal. We currently have also a 3rd paper submitted and under review at the Engineering Applications of Artificial Intelligence Journal. And so basically to wrap up a bit, the collaboration with the AI Hub and the access to these computational resources in the form of the DGX station provided vital support that enabled me to successfully complete my master's project. And the LXAI workshops were as well very valuable because they gave me the experience of presenting my research, of making a poster, how to gain visibility in what I was doing. And it also enabled us and gave us opportunities to publish in journals, to take it into the next steps. And regarding next steps, I am currently in this collaboration between Tecnologico de Monterrey and the AI Hub and the Hasso-Plattner Institute here in Germany. And thanks to that, I was able to start my PhD work, and which I am also focusing on deep learning, but this time I will be working on analyzing and understanding georeference 3D point clouds. So that's my part. And yeah, thank you very much for your attention.
And I guess that's why this matters, right? I mean, Jorge is a particularly brilliant guy, but he's a master's degree student, or he was when he was.
He got 3 journals.
He got 3 journal papers. So 8 PhD students need to shape up, I guess.
Yeah. That's the idea.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And he's now at Hasselplattner doing what he likes. So, of Peterson.
Yeah, he can see you. I don't know where the camera is.
No, it doesn't matter. Hey, Jorge.
Hello.
So that's why this matters. Okay, we thank you, Nvidia. Thank you very much. You see that your efforts pay big rewards, and thank you, LXAI, because here you can see evidence that what we are trying to do here works. This is just the beginning. So what comes is fantastic. So thank you all. This concludes the formal program. There is coffee, cookies there. Picture. It's a good idea. Yeah. Who takes the picture? Where is Hans?
We can ask Hans.
Oh, Hans is gone.
Hans is gone? Okay. Con la cámara. Los
Aquí para allá.
los LXAI trabajan con los LXAI. ¿Tú sabes?
¿Yo cuál entro?
Aquí abajo. Ahí está, le vamos a ver quiénes son.
Oye, yo creo en Zoom.
Thank you to everyone in Zoom. I think we'll close the session. Thank you, Lord Rebecca. We'll keep in touch. Thank you, Jomar. Thank you, Lord Jorge, as well. See you soon. And also to all the LXAI people in the call. I think I saw Matthias and other people there. Have a nice day, guys. See you soon.